We all have our standard trading system with about a 1 to 3, 1 to 4 risk reward, meaning that if we risk $100, we're going to make $300 to $400 on the trade. But what if we could take that same structure and multiply the amount of profit by 3 to 4x? So that we could risk $100 and make anywhere from $900 to $1,200 on that same exact trade. So I'm going to show you exactly how we've been doing this on the private side of our team so you can start using this on your own trading setup. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new and you like trading and investing. Check us out on Discord, Instagram, TikTok. We have an amazing trading community. And write in the comments if you have any questions, but let's hop right into the video. So before we can start using this concept, we need to understand something called multi-time frame analysis. And this is going to be the backbone structure of how we're going to increase our profit multiples. So say for instance, our system called for a moving average cross buy. So when we see all of these lines crossing over positive onto each other, we're signaled to buy. So considering this is a 4-hour time frame, each candlestick is representing 4 hours worth of price data. So if we enter here and get out here, this is going to take 48 bars, which is right around 8 days long. Now we can take this same exact price data, but if we flip to a 15-minute time frame, this is still the same duration, but now we have 755 bars. And you can see we've had multiple moving average crosses this entire time, which would trigger a multitude of buy opportunities during this one macro buy opportunity. And this plays into the concept of fractals, where even in nature, we're seeing all of the larger same patterns, then making slightly smaller patterns within it. And it basically goes into infinity. And this is how trees and branches grow. This is how in nature, we end up getting plants and creatures like this. It's all the same pattern, but it gets refined fractally down to basically a microscopic level. Same thing is applicable in trading. Any pattern that we're going to see on a larger time frame is going to have all of these mini patterns within it. Now it's our responsibility to be able to structure that properly inside a trade, but this is going to be the first secret sauce to allowing us to maximize the amount of profits we can take on a single trade. So let's take a look at an example of Link on a 1-hour frequency. This is actually a trade that one of our private team members found and was able to alert out to our team, and a lot of people took this trade and they crushed it. So I'm just going to go over it because I think it's really cool. Then I'm going to show an example of another one and we can kind of break that down as well. So this is one of the systems we trade. We have a new impulse wave here, meaning that this trend is moving up and you can see it's riding along these moving averages. Okay, if you follow the channel a lot, you'll be familiar with this indicator. This is the trend-based fib extension. So we're gonna go ahead and use that off of this low point here up to that first little push in the trend and then back down. So we can see once we do that, we get a perfect contact point up here on our 361.8. It's gonna be most likely a really nice reversal level. Okay, so this is how we're identifying zones that we're looking to take short and long positions on. All right, so if we were to play this whole trend, we would probably end up getting short right around here, have a stop loss over this level, and trade basically down to about halfway down this trend, which would give us around a 3 to 4 risk reward multiple, which is awesome. We're risking $1,000, which is what I typically risk, anywhere from $500 to $1,000. We're looking at making, right around $3,000 to $4,000 on that trade. But what if we take this same exact structure and we look on the most recent wave up to the top of our structure? So imagine we take this whole thing and we zoom it into just this most recent move that makes contact with our 361.8 level. So now let's analyze this individual trend. Go down to a 5-minute frequency. So once again, I'm going to follow the same exact process. Trend break over there, click my projection tool off of this low up to this first high and then back down. All right, and we can see now the price action is hitting on my macro top and my micro top. And this also goes to show you how important it is to be precise about entries. I talked about this in another video, but this means that now following our system that we would trade off of here, we'd be getting in closer to this 261.8, which would bring us right in this vicinity. So as soon as we get a pullback down underneath this high, back under over here, we would be getting in, say right here, right? Stop loss now over this high right here. And if we were to just be playing this small trend here, we'd play it down to right around half. And once again, this would give us a 3.29 risk reward multiple. But this is where we're multiplying our profits. So now if I enter this position, risking $1,000, go ahead and sell, enter short. Instead of taking profit at a 3.29 multiple, as if we were only trading this small trend, we can now drag this all the way back down to our macro 4-hour take profit level which is now going to give us a 1 to 15 risk reward. So this is a little bit higher than what we actually took on the private side of our team. I think it was like a 1 to 12 that they found. Okay, but let's watch how this plays out. Right now the price action comes down. We're still trading this, right? But now we're literally up almost 9 risk factors on this trade, and we're able to snipe that exact high point on the trend. And this is where the market is currently sitting on the trade. So let's take another example of this on AVAX. Once again, on a 4-hour frequency, this is most likely going to work with any system in any time frame, as long as they're pretty much drastically different. You want to find a big pattern on one and really play the small pattern on the other. So once again, trend break here, use our projection off of these wicks nicely, just like that. You can see beautiful contact point up here. All right, so once again, we would be taking a short right on this sort of retest level here, stop loss over this high, and we'd be trading down about halfway to this trend, which would give us a 1 to 4. Once again, $3,000 profit, not bad on this trade whatsoever. But let's narrow our focus once again on the same pattern on just this trend here. So I'm gonna go ahead and bar replay this back. Go into a 5-minute. All right, so let's let this trend develop here. We got our big move up to this level. So this is definitely going to be our structure of 1 right here. So I can go ahead from this low to that high point right here and then back down. All right, so this trend really pushed, so we're gonna reevaluate our wave 1. So now we've made contact with that 361.8 level over here. So now I modified the high of my 1 down to this peak here, which is gonna give me resistance right at 261.8, which is also right at the previous 361.8 on the overall trend. Now we have the price breaking down past this point here. So we're gonna look to take a short position right up in this zone. So we need this to push up a little bit higher and run at highs. So there we go, we have contact here. So now we can go ahead and take a short position in here. Stop loss over this high right here. Take profit is now going to be, once again, at that same level. All right, so we can get short into here, and let's scroll out and see what happens to this price action. All right, so price moves down, trades along these moving averages here. Would have been back at our original entry for our macro setup. And then this price just dumps way underneath this moving average. Starts to get resistance along this moving average here. And now we're up more than the whole position that we would be on the macro, but we're less than halfway to our take profit on the micro setup. Okay, so this trades sideways for quite some time, but still we have our stop loss over this high, so we really don't care. We can let this play out. Okay, so now we're up about $5,000 on this setup. Price still dropping lows, 6 grand. All right, so now price is dropping lows. All right, and we finally get to our take profit, and you can see $7,400, where normally we'd only be making around $3,000. These don't happen all the time, but when we do see these gems where we see both of those matching up, it's one heck of a trade. And you can see community members are deploying this exact strategy on a lot of these trades. INJ35A from Reese H, 12.7 risk factors. He made $380, which means that he was risking about $30 on the trade and was able to make $380. So that's absolutely incredible to see. But you can realistically take this same exact approach and apply this to most of the trading systems that you're going to be trading on your own, just to get you to that next level of being able to find these once in a while gems and increase those risk multiples on your trading account. Okay, we're going to be working on the private side of our team to find these more and more, and we're going to be using this on all the systems that we continue to work on into 2024. So if you think this is cool, let me know in the comments. If you already knew about this and you think this is stupid, also you can write it in the comments, but I think this is pretty dope and I hope that this was helpful information. If you made it to this portion of the video, it probably means that you're a real one. So I just want to say thank you for the support in the channel, and make sure that you head into the Discord. It's completely free. You're able to connect and stay up to date with what we're working on. Reason I say that is because we're moving into multi-asset. So I'm not going to say much more on that, but we're testing something that's absolutely incredible in more than one asset class. Okay. And I have to say, this is probably one of the most exciting trading breakthroughs I've seen in the past 3 years of my career. So you're probably not going to want to miss that. and you're going to want to be early to this game as well. So I'm not going to say more than that, but make sure that you're sticking around to find out what that is, and I'll be sure to keep you guys posted. If you want any of the resources that I mentioned in this video, so the position size calculator or also the RSI, the InnevaTrade Pro Plus indicator, I'm going to have those in a document below this video as well, so you can add those to your chart and be able to have sort of the setup that I have. Okay, if you're still here, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like trading and investing. Until next time, guys, I will see you all in the next video.